We're live. We're live. Hi guys, welcome back to Crypto Mischief. Richie here. We're live in the studio room place with friends from all over the world. That's right. We have Peter the Arborist and Aaron from Mint Share. We're here to talk today about the changes which are happening to Mint Share, and I'm really excited about them. We were just talking before. We're all really excited, and hopefully we're going to share this excitement throughout today's stream. I'm just trying to fix one of the streams. Says Peter, Crypto Arborist, it looks like your guest streams was deleted on YouTube. We informed them so they can fix it.
I actually fixed it.
Oh, you fixed it? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And of course, we're going to talk about my favorite thing in the entire world. Goddamn cryptocurrency. That's right. Okay. I was getting like a big warning flashing up, so I got distracted there. Okay, we've got some comments already. If you have any questions for today's discussion, then please get them in the live chats. We'll pick them up from Twitter. We are streaming everywhere. We're on my YouTube and my X. We're on the Mint Share YouTube, Mint Share X, Crypto Arborist YouTube, and Crypto Arborist X as well, I believe, right?
Yes.
Huge. Yeah, and it is very bullish, very bullish.
Straight up six-way, Richie.
It is. My favorite thing in the entire world, goddamn MSS. That's right.
Let's go.
So
Yes.
hopefully you guys can all feel the energy in the room for what is about to happen. These changes are coming to MSS, right? Here I put in the thumbnail for my one was a MSS 2.0, which has never been really said before, but it kind of it's a massive upgrade that's coming to MSS, and it's going to involve a lot of things. For today's stream, I thought to begin, I'm just going to briefly explain what MSS is. If I get anything wrong, of course, I've got two of the team here to correct me, but we're just going to check it out. So, and what is MSS? What can you do with it? It's a passive income earning token, essentially, right? So if I take this here, no, that's for later. Got two things going. No, it's not working. See, we had two running at the start of this, and now they're deciding not to work. What's that say? Before presenting a screen, remove other media from this. Okay, got it.
There we go.
Right. So MSS token at the moment for today, we are climbing up. As you can see from this chart, this is us up 175% from that bottom floor, and that is exactly when the changes were announced for MSS. So this is looking great, right? I put a panned out version here because I want, MSS is not a new token. MSS has been around. When did you start MSS, Aaron?
Was it July of last year?
Yeah, it's almost coming on for 1 year in MSS, which is unbelievable. The reason it's unbelievable is because of the passive income part of MSS, right? So if we come to this, for example, right? So we'll come to Mint Share. So you can grow your wealth with Mint Share token. You get 2% daily returns by staking MSS into the smart contract, right? If you compound. If you claim from the smart contract, you will get 1% daily. That's the simplest, best thing about Mint Share. It's available on Base Chain and Binance Smart Chain, right? Like, just look at these candles. Love looking at green candles. So you can see both charts here on the page. Links in the description of all the videos wherever you're watching from. We have thick liquidity with MSS. Because
we have what, Richie?
Oh, thickquidity. Is
Thank
that right?
you.
Liquidity.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
And the tokenomics of MSS token, they are beautiful. It's beautiful management of what happens when you buy the token, what happens when you sell the token. It all works into adding this thick liquidity into MSS. So if we come and have a look at, what's happening here, MSS market cap 790,000, liquidity 525,000. That's not. It doesn't happen very often where a token has a liquidity that's almost equaling the market cap. This is rare in crypto. It shows great strength in the tokenomics. 20% up today. Jeez, things on steroids. Awesome stuff, right? So that's the essentials of Mint Share. You want to buy it, you can choose. If you want to go on to Binance Smart Chain, you can just change up in the top. You can come here and swap. You can buy it with BNB. At the moment, 1 BNB can buy you 55,000 MSS. You can buy it on Base Chain, and 1 ETH will get you a lot more, 190,000 MSS, because the prices of those assets are different. Once you buy it, you can also choose to auto stake. And this is a very important part of today's video because we will, Aaron is making changes to the auto stake function for MSS. Yes?
Yep.
Yeah. Once you stake, right? Let's show, I like this staking page. This is my suicide compound page. I'm really proud of this. So this is on BaseChain. Basically, I started this, when BaseChain launched was about 6 months ago, I guess. Maybe 5 months. I've just roughly, I'm not sure actually. Time goes so fast. But anyway,
that was around November. Yeah.
Oh, November. Okay. So since we launched on BaseChain, I've essentially been DCAing in, compounding 100%, and just continuing to grow this. You see, I deposited in the MSS, and now I have collections. So today I can collect, what is that, $200 that I could compound of MSS, or if I claim that, I will get 11,000 MSS. So if I claim, I get 1%. If I compound, I get 2%. This is the core mechanics of everything. Now we're going to talk about the changes. This is just in case anyone who's new is not sure, how MSS works. I forgot to mention moon yield, but moon yield is over here as well. This offers the opportunity to lend your MSS in and borrow a stable coin. So the ecosystem is growing. The ecosystem is huge and is only getting better. And it's an exciting day for all of us to be here talking about MSS. Did I miss anything?
I think that summed it up quite well. I mean, there's a couple different ways to earn on moon yield, but that's
there are
outside of the core protocol, though. But
yeah, there are loads of ways to earn on moon yield as well. Yeah. But if I start talking about that, then we'd be like 20 minutes into the video, and then
yes,
that's a good point. That's actually the biggest difficulty I'm having with MSS content right now is I'm trying to keep it short, but there's so many things that we can talk about now with MSS that I'm just, it's great. Like the amount of options we have now for how to play the game, they're just growing. And with these updates, we're going to get even more. Exactly. Liquidity.
Thick.
Huge liquidity.
Thick and juicy, baby.
Yeah, but like you mentioned there, Richie, we definitely getting new users is a top priority. So I think getting that, having simple content that can just, kind of get people in the door and, just get into, start staking MSS and, explore the rest of the ecosystem, after you already get your foot in the door.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I think the best thing about MSS is the simplicity of onboarding as well. Because you come to the website, you see how simple it is just to get in. But then once you're in, you're like, okay, there's a lot more going on here under the hood. And that's really exciting. We have Ryan M here from Australia saying afternoon from down under. The future of MSS is truly bullish. Probably, Ryan, you're also enjoying the fact because Australia and China are actually on the same timeline if you're in Perth. Funny fact, China's huge. It's a giant country. It's all the same time.
Oh, wow.
You ever thought about that? Yeah, all of China is on the same time.
Wow. That's weird.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Weird, but it keeps it simple though.
Yeah, kind of. But then it means, depending where you live, it could go like nighttime, like 5 p.m.
Yeah, it could be like a couple hours different when it gets dark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Okay, let's get into these changes that we're going to be getting forward with. If anyone has any questions while we're going through this, please just get into the comments and let us know. We do have a presentation as well. But I guess first, I'd like to ask Aaron, why? Why are we making upgrades to MSS?
A lot of reasons. Primarily, obviously the main focus is always getting new users in. So the core, I'd say the core driver of these changes was the new referral system, which we can get into all the details about that in a minute. But, I have, obviously Johnny had a big part of this. He wants to onboard his massive network. He wants to, bring his network guys want to be able to bring in more people. And the referral system that we had just wasn't quite robust enough. When I originally built Mint Stake Share, one of the strongest aspects of the referrals was on the minting side of things. And now, it's going to be advantageous to acquire your MSS via swaps. And our swap referrals weren't nearly as lucrative as the minting referrals were. So, we only had the single tier or single level of referrals on swaps. So, one of the main things is just beefing up the referral system to make it much more lucrative and to get guys really excited to start, bringing on, hundreds or thousands of guys in their network. So that was a big driver. And the other one is, obviously mint stake share pays staking rewards. So inflation's always been a concern, and we've made a couple changes in the past to address that. And, that was the other kind of major change now is addressing sustainability. And just to make sure that, older wallets don't continue to, be able to claim crazy amounts and sell MSS basically.
Yeah, because that's the last thing. That's the last thing we want in this protocol. And like I'm in here like day one, minute one, second one into mint stake share, and I agree that people who got in at the very start of mint stake share shouldn't just continue to, profit from the system without adding anything else in. That's not sustainable at all. Anyone who got in at the beginning of MSS is well in profit. So now it's time to bring more people on board, and for people who have been in the system for a long time to be responsible about it and treat it like your baby. We want this to grow larger than ever before. The only way to do that is to be responsible with how we're using mint stake share, and now we're getting new tools and new ways to push this out to more people with more sustainability, and we can get higher rewards from referring people than ever before. I mean, it's the perfect storm. It's good. For the referral system, yeah, because it's in the name, right? Mint, stake, share, right? I do have one. So if let's go through the referral system. And I have one question just to begin with, which would be the ease of use, right? So if I show this one here, right? Can I bring it up? Yeah, so, this is the share page. So for example, you get a link. Your referral link is this. You can choose to get a short URL, and then you can track your links, okay, of how many people you've onboarded with what links. I like doing this because you can use different, like one of them I'll use for shorts, one of them I'll use for Twitter, one of them I'll use for some YouTube videos. You can kind of gauge how many new people you're capturing in the market. Where is everyone? Oh, there you are. So you get like a link here, get short URL, which is useful because if you share on YouTube and you have the question mark, often it will censor the link after the question mark. If you know, right? So will the onboarding be as similar as this? Will we still be able to create links in such an easy way to start sharing? Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another option here where you can, probably the default option should be to share like your NFT referral link.
Yep.
So that'll just be an extra option in the dropdown, although it'll probably be the default option.
Okay, yeah, that's because here you can share for mint, buy, stake, or share. But now these NFTs are being added. This is an extra way of earning income, and that is the simplest way to do it. Smart man. He's a smart man. Okay, so we do have a presentation, which is, I'm sure you've seen some of it, but we're going to go through some of the parts of it. So I guess first we can talk about the referral system, because that's a very exciting part of it. Let me bring that up.
Richie, the referral system will be on page 3, I believe.
Page 3.
There we go.
Oh, no, it's gone all weird, though.
That's okay.
It's okay. We can see it. Okay, so let's talk about these NFT. I would call them soul-bound. Would that be correct?
Yeah, they can't be transferred. So basically the first time you buy an NFT, you get it transferred to your wallet, and it's going to be there forever. The contract keeps track of if you have an active subscription and which tier you're in. You're able to switch your tier at any time, and it does that actually without requiring payment. So what it's going to do what it does is it adjusts, like, just say if I pay for 1 month on, say, the diamond NFT, I pay $200 for 1 month. If I decide, I only need the gold, if I make that switch, my duration is actually going to switch from 30 days to 60 days. So basically it just looks at like the cost difference, and it kind of just changes the duration of your prepaid subscription, I guess you could say.
That's
so,
nice.
So you can switch between the tiers anytime without penalty. And you can prepay for as much as you want also. And again, none of that goes to waste because you can always update your tier, right? So just say, like, for example, if I buy, if I want to prepay for a year of bronze NFT, I could then later decide, I want to get 3 tiers of referrals. I better get the gold. I can just switch it. Instead of having 12 months prepaid, I'll have like a quarter of that. So 3 months.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Because like, imagine going on holiday, then realizing your tiers of, your account's gone to 0 for your NFTs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so these NFTs are, Soulbound NFTs, which means that they stay in the system, but you can't trade them on an NFT marketplace like OpenSea. You can't send them to anyone. They're linked to your wallet forever, right?
Yeah.
You can choose between the prices. You pay monthly. This is not mandatory. It says it here. It's not mandatory to buy an NFT. This is only if you want to start earning the referral rewards from the share aspect of Mint Stake Share, right?
Yeah.
The minimum is $25 per month for a bronze tier, and that unlocks one tier. So your downline under you. If I shared a link to, for example, Carl Wund here saying, let's go, and he wasn't in Mint Stake Share, and he clicked on my link, then I would be able to earn from his, his auto stake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his auto stake, or if he bought an NFT too. So there's two ways you can earn with this as well. Then you go from the silver, gold, ruby, diamond, and they continue to get more tiers. And of course, with more tiers, more expensive. Yeah, and the prices are fair prices, I think. It's not crazy, you know. I've bought NFTs which cost way more than $200, and I got nothing from them. They had no utility. They were just a picture of a monkey, and then now the monkey is worth zero, you know. So in terms of the pricing of these NFTs, I think it's a very fair and affordable price for anyone. $25. That's Starbucks. That's one or two coffees, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And the potential for these NFTs is massive. So if we go to the potential, this is how we work with it, right?
This is the commission for the NFTs.
Yeah. Okay.
So for anyone that's watching, so this is what you earn if you have an NFT and then you refer someone who also buys an NFT. This is what you would get out of their payment towards the NFTs. So, I mean, even if you have a $25 bronze NFT, you could sign somebody up that decides to buy a year's worth of diamond, right? And then they're paying, 200 times 12, was that 2,400? And you're going to get 10% on that, right? The second they make that payment. So,
okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of earning potential on that.
So by enrolling new members, you unlock generous rewards and build the foundation for a steady stream of residual income with MSS NFTs. So enrolling, sharing essentially by bringing in new people into MSS, the system rewards you. Okay. So that's the different personally, I'm going straight for 200. I don't know about you. Marvis, what are you going to do?
Oh, straight for the top, level 5 all the way.
Yeah, nice. Well, I don't know about you guys in the comment section. Like if you're live, let us know if you're interested in getting these NFTs and which ones you're going to be going for first. Because I think anyone, especially with this candle, right, with this green chart that I showed you before, up. What was it we were saying before? From the floor on March 11th, so that is up 175% since these changes were introduced. This is a simple way. Well, on my chart anyway. I'm not sure. It could be more. It's a simple way, right, of sharing to people and saying, look, this is taking off. It's kicking off. Of course, you need to be responsible. Tell them everything to do their own research and these kind of things. But it's, I think, a glorious opportunity for earning income. Yeah, I'm going to go diamond. So that's 10% on the level 1, 8% level 2, 6%, 4%, then 2%. Or here's a question about the NFTs from Dr. Fluster. Do you think you'll increase the prices of the NFTs in the future? Referral rewards will be crazy when MSS price goes up, so it won't take much to get an NFT.
Well, I think the prices are quite good where they're at. We want to have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people come into MSS. So I think having the NFT be a price that's obtainable, especially for new users that might not have already built up a ton of profit in MSS, I think it's important to keep the NFT affordable. So I think we'll keep it right where it's at.
And also, Dr. Fluster, you need to understand how hard people had to work to convince Aaron to make these changes. He's not the kind of man who just makes changes on a whim, right? This was a months of conversations, proposals. And Aaron had to completely 100% be on board for this to happen, and he's not an easy man to convince.
But just to provide clarity on that, while that is all true, Well, that is all true. That's only because I'm protecting the community, right? Like everybody bought in with a certain idea of things, and like for me to make any kind of change that's not super small, like I have to look at all the different types of users that we have, and there's a lot of thought that has to go into it to make sure that nobody's getting left behind, or it's not unfair to a certain subset of the users. So yeah, it's actually really difficult to implement major changes and have it be a fair playing field.
Yeah, so. And I respect you for that, because this is your baby. You created this. It's gotten quite large. There's a lot of responsibility for all the investors who've come in, not just at the beginning, halfway through, yesterday, and tomorrow, right? So it's a big decision that you made, and I think it's the right decision. It's a good decision.
Don't get me wrong, I love making changes, but it's just like once you have an established project, I think it's something you have to be really careful about.
Yeah. One thing before we talk about how much you can earn from these, what happens when, say, for example, I buy the Diamond NFT, and you're making these changes in the next couple of days, right?
Yeah. So all the majority of the work is already done. There's just a bit of like website polishing and a tiny bit of testing I have to do. So I am planning to have everything 100% live for tomorrow at our weekly AMA.
So we'll make sure to get some sleep as well, though, right?
Yeah, so I have to keep reminding him to do that.
So what happens? So say from tomorrow, the next day, it's crypto. When I buy the Diamond NFT, what happens to what is it going to be? USDT, USDC?
It's going to be USDT.
Okay. So when I spend the 200 USDT, what happens to my USDT? Where does it go?
Yep. So 70% of that gets used for MSS buy and burn. Wow. That'll happen immediately once NFTs are purchased. I actually didn't build that into the contract quite yet, but it's just a quick copy and paste from another contract. But I'll have that live for tomorrow. So 70% goes right to buying and burning MSS, and wow. The other 30% goes to paying referrals. The only thing the protocol takes in is the breakage, which is basically like when there's not 5 tiers of referrals set up for that purchase, then the remainder of that 30% will go to the protocol.
Great. Now, see, this is again, this is why MSS is a fantastic ecosystem, right? Usually when this happens and a developer releases an NFT project attached to their project, when the NFT buys come in, usually the developer will take 70% into his own pocket, right? What's happening here? It's true, right? I've seen it all over the place. Like, oh, I put so much work into this, and that majority of the buys is going to come to me. That's what we see over and over again. What you're seeing with the mint stake share is 70% of the USDT is going to buy MSS and then burn it, right? Unbelievable. Like buy and burn is really powerful.
Yeah, and just kind of going back to what you're saying, though, I've taken the same approach with like the Moon Share or the Moon Yield launch with Moon Share, and also with Book, right? Like we did pre-sales on both of those, and again, like a team usually takes anywhere from like 49% of a pre-sale. It might only be 20 or 30%, but like I literally took 0% from both of those, right? Like Moon Share, that pre-sale, 100% of that BNB went into liquidity, and with Book, we had half of it go to obviously like Moon Share that got burnt, and the other half went straight to liquidity. So, definitely team usually takes a nice healthy percentage of that, and I haven't taken any of that. So yeah, definitely want just as much liquidity and as much back into the ecosystem as possible.
Yes, keep it thick, sir.
Good. So that's what happens when the NFTs are bought. We have a question about the different chains. The NFTs will be available on the BSC chain or both BSC and Base?
So the NFT itself is going to be bought and managed on BSC.
Good.
It is going, so to earn referrals on Base chain, it is going to require you to have the NFT on BSC. This part I was hoping to have ready for tomorrow, and I'm not 100% sure it will be, but I'm going to use very similar technology to what we use to bridge MSS between Base and BSC. From Axelar, they have a great method of basically sending messages between chains. So basically, whenever the information that's going to be shared is basically whenever you purchase an NFT, or you extend your subscription, or you change your NFT tier, it's basically just going to shoot that information from BSC over to Base, and the contract on Base is just going to basically know the status of the NFTs. So it's not going to actually share your uplines and referral info like that. It's only going to share the status of the NFTs. So that is something to keep in mind if you have a lot of users on Base. for example, if they use your referral link to, buy MSS on BSC, and then they decide to get into base like a month later, you're going to have to make sure that they're using your referral link or that that's locked into their browser already, right? And so because base, it's not going to share the upline or the referral wallets between chains. It's only going to share the status of the NFT. So
okay. But then also the BNB chain does have substantially more users than base chain at the moment.
Yeah.
And I predict that will remain. I think that for some reason Binance Smart Chain is the chain for this kind of activity. Essentially, yeah.
And also, I think like something, I think just with the ease of moving funds between chains, especially when you're talking about two major chains like Base and BSC, it's just so easy to move funds that, when we're primarily on BSC with so much liquidity on BSC, a new user, I'd probably suggest them to go to BSC because of the bigger liquidity. And I think a lot of users would just naturally go towards that initial chain or main chain, right?
We have a question about Moon Yield. I'll ask it later because we're talking about the NFT at the moment.
Richie, did you see the question about once the NFT is purchased, if referrals, how that will see it?
From Crypto Kung Fu?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Okay. Hey, Aaron, do the NFT account for all referrals, old and new, or just from this point forward?
So basically, the way that referrals are going to work moving forward is you're going to have the NFT to receive any referral income, and it's just going to only work for any referrals that you get from that point forward.
Okay, good.
So like every time a referral payment is going out, it's basically checking for 5 levels, like, okay, who's the upline? Do they have an NFT? Is the NFT active, right? Is it a paid subscription that hasn't expired? And if that's all true, then you earn the referral. And if not, you don't.
Yeah. I think there are more benefits to doing it this way than finding a very complex solution to, in a way, like honoring past referral links, right? Referral connections, I think, right? And I'm talking,
So for that, so if that's what we're talking about, I am actually looking at referral. So basically, like, obviously this is a tough thing to do when you're implementing a new referral system, because I do want to honor like people that have referred people in the past. Maybe you did it 6 months ago and they want to start buying MSS again right now. They're likely not to have your referral link still loaded in the browser, right? Maybe they do, but probably they don't. Or they could be using a different computer, different browser, a lot of different scenarios where they might not have the same referral locked in. So what the NFT referral contract does, and this is the contract that handles all referrals. So it's going to handle the NFT referral payments, it's going to handle the buy and auto stake referral payments. What that's going to do is, if you're not already like kind of registered in the NFT referral contract, so you don't have anything set there yet, which is going to be the case for everybody initially, the first thing it's going to do is actually check the existing contracts for who referred you, right? And if that doesn't exist, then it's going to take the one that is submitted along with the transaction. So it will always try to use your existing referral address if possible. If it doesn't exist, then it will take a new one in.
Okay, so and it's going to check from the browser address that you go to, right?
No. So that's actually going to check the other contracts. So I have it.
Okay.
So because of the way things were designed, we actually track referrals in a couple different contracts currently. So basically, it's going to check. Just because we don't do much minting now, it's going to basically check the swap contract and the stake contract. So if you don't have a referral set in either one of those, then you can set a new one. But if you do have one of those two set, it doesn't really matter what you put into the NFT site. It's going to just go to your referral that you already have set from MSS. Okay.
It sounds like an absolute nightmare to try to try.
Wasn't
how you did it. Yeah. I bet that was the least fun part.
Yeah.
So if I was going to try and shorten that explanation, it'd be the contract is attempting to find a link between the old referrals that someone might have and their NFT. Yeah. Okay. That's good. For me, like, for example, I showed you before, like I just went on that page and like I have over through 2,500 clicks on all my referral links, right? This is my opinion, right? Maybe people, you can disagree with me if you want, but if we get these new changes implemented and I notice, oh no, I don't have as many, onboarded as before, I don't care. That just drives me to try and capture even more. But that's my personality. I don't know.
Well, because think about it this way, right? Like, so just say for your case, you're going to buy an NFT as soon as they're available. You've put out so much content with your referral links, those need to still work, right? Or people that have already clicked those in the past that either have jumped into MSS or not, doesn't matter. Either way, we need to make sure that you still get credit for all those people that you sent to MSS. So I think that this is the most fair way to do that. Yeah,
I think it's good. It's the most, what would I say, elegant solution I could think of for this. Definitely. Okay, good. So that's that question out of the way. Good. This is going to be epic. There we go. This is going to be epic. Salute to you guys. Will the referral rewards from NFT be paid instantly, weekly, or possibly monthly?
Great question. So BNB rewards from a buy and auto stake get paid out instantly right in that same transaction. The USDT referral revenue from people actually buying the NFT, the contract keeps track of that, and you're able to claim it as often as you want. Right. So Richie's getting his NFT tomorrow. Anybody that buys an NFT with him as
buying my NFT tomorrow. Buying.
Yeah. Buying the NFT tomorrow. Yeah. So anybody that you have referred or that you refer in the future that buys an NFT, if somebody spends, say $25 on an NFT, you're going to see instantly right after they make that purchase that you have $2.50 or $2.50 USDT that you can claim instantly. Right. So there's not any delays or holds, but it's not instantly sent on the transaction. It has to be claimed.
That's nice though. You wake up in the morning and then come and look at your divs from your work,
Yep.
Because honestly, affiliate marketing, it can get bad names sometimes, but it is hard work and it's a lot of connections that people have to make. And these changes with these NFTs are going to enable Mint Share to open up this whole new gateway to professional affiliate marketing service as well. People who that's just their bread and butter. That's what they want to do all the time, and it's really exciting. That question's answered then. Will we be able to see our referrals on our downline?
Yep. So that's something that won't be available right on day one, but it is something that I've kind of designed everything around being able to track all that. So you'll definitely be able to see that in the near future. Yeah. One thing you will be able to see right from the get-go, though, is you'll be able to see like your total structure, which would be like how many people you have in your downline, right? So not just your immediate downline, but like your entire downline. You'll be able to see.
Nice. Very good, Aaron.
That's fun. More stats. That's what we want. So it says here, so if you're currently earning referral rewards from an address, it should continue. So we mentioned there, if you must buy the NFT if you want the rewards to continue.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyone that you're already earning referral rewards from, as long as you have the NFT, you'll continue to earn those on their future buy and auto stakes, as long as you have the NFT.
Carl has a good question here. May have missed it, but is there a way to see if your downline people also have people under them? So if you have a bronze NFT, you'll want to upgrade. So for example, you have a bronze and you go, oh my God, I've got a downline under that, and I'm not unlocked them yet.
Yeah. So right from day one, you'll be able to see, you'll be able to see your total referrals, which is like your direct referrals. And then you'll be able to see your total structure, which is your entire downline, but you'll just see numbers. So that's all you'll see right on launch, but I'll be able to build out a more intricate display.
Okay. Lots of questions are coming in thick and fast now. For influencers who want to onboard a lot of new users, would you recommend them have MSS account on both BSC and Base? If I was to answer this, I would say yes. The main reason is that I like to have two strategies for Mint Share that I can swap between when I show videos. So I have one, which is my original Binance Smart Chain account, which is going to get throttled, but that's okay. And then on the other side, I have my base chain account, which I'm doing a more compound to try and see how powerful these changes can be, because my hunch is that the price is going to continue to go up. This is not financial advice, right? And because I'm in a position where I don't necessarily need the funds on base chain today, I'm happy to continue to compound this to see how powerful I can make this side of that. And then once it's powerful enough, then go into moon yield and then show that side of it. And, you know, with substantial capital, which is growing 2% every day. And then on the base chain side, I can show the profit, which on the Binance Smart Chain side, I can show the profit, which I can make daily from, or, you know, weekly or 3-5 or whatever your claim strategy is from that. So you can show two sides of the protocol from two different views. That's what I do. What about you, Arborist? What do you think?
I think absolutely you should have an account on both sides. I have a strategy that I use on base, and I have more of a claiming and loopy doopy, as we should say, strategy on the Binance side of things.
Loopy doopy, yeah, that means using moon yield.
Yeah, I just made that up, so write that down.
You know, I agree. Like, I think that it's, you know, if you have multiple strategies you want to show your audience, I think it's can be advantageous to have a staking account on both sides. I'd say though, for influencers or anyone that's going to be promoting this actively, I definitely recommend being just really familiar with the core protocol and also with moon yield, so that you're able to kind of tell your people all about all those great things.
Richie, an idea that came up this week, and I actually tried it today in person, is if you have a big enough account. I mean, I went up to 5 people today. I said, hey, you want some free crypto? And they were like, absolutely. So sent it to them. They signed up with the links. I got 5 new referrals today, just like that.
All right. you just went outside. Hey, bro, you want some free crypto?
Yeah. I was like, hey, get a book.
They're like, Peter, that's a tree. That's not a person.
Yeah. Can't help it, man. It's weird.
Yeah,
that's
another way. Because I mean, that's actually what I do with Sui Trump. I have Mr. Furley, who is a great right hand man for Sui Trump. He manages a small amount of the tokens, not like $50 or whatever. But then what he finds is that people that he thinks are really engaged and interactive and things, and then he just sends them, tiny parts of the token, right? But this makes them really excited because not everyone, once you have a small taste of mint stake share, even $2 in a stake, you start to see, oh, wait a minute, this is going up. It's going up again. Like the compound interest part of it is really addictive. So that is a pretty good strategy, actually. It's nice. Good.
We're about to pass 1.1 cents, by the way.
Yep, that's because the core step says this bad boy is going to send the price of MSS to Valhalla. Nice. That sounds good. Okay, so we talked about the NFTs and the referral side, and now we have to talk about the other side of the changes, which is should we talk about the auto stake? That's huge, actually.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. What page would I find the auto stake?
That's on page 2. It's just a screenshot of the
All right, easy.
Or do you want to show the commission or the referral rewards for auto stake?
Oh yeah. Oh well,
Yeah.
first of all, I guess we explain the auto stake first. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Bit of a mess.
Yes. So the auto stake is basically our built-in swap. So this is the easiest and best way to buy or sell MSS. And we just have a simple option there that you can see in the picture where you can change that checkbox to either auto stake or not auto stake. So when you auto stake, basically what you're doing is you're swapping for MSS and you're having in the same transaction, it deposit that MSS into staking for you. So the changes that we're doing related to buying and auto staking is forever now, we're going to have a 25% MSS bonus for everyone that buys with auto stake. So you buy $1,000 worth of MSS or 100 or 10 or whatever you want to buy. If it's 1,000, you're going to get $250 worth of extra MSS in your staking account. And in addition, because with these changes, we're also allocating 15% of the BNB that's being used to buy an auto stake is going to be used for referrals, straight BNB referral income for anyone that's using the NFT system or the referral system. So it's basically the two changes there have made it one way better for anybody that's buying and staking because they get a 25% bonus and they have no tax to pay, no buy tax. So great on that side. And then also with that change, we're also able to, kind of allocate some of the BNB to referrals to drive more users in.
Good. So let's so it's not live yet, but we can, so here I am on base chain. It will work on Binance Smart Chain and base chain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here I am on base chain, just cheaper gas, so I'll use it. Right. So say we're in the future. Imagine, right? We're in the future. It's 2 days later, right? All the changes have been made. So I'm going to decide I want to join, and I want to get the 25% bonus. Very simple. You're on the swap page, top right swap. You come here, you choose how much you want to put in. So here I put 0.05 ETH. It will get me 10,000 MSS tokens. I then have to make sure I press this auto stake. That will send it directly into the staking contract. And then go swap, stake. Then your wallet will come up, and then you will sign it, right? And that's it. Boom. You have auto staked, and then you will get 25% more in your stake. The reward transaction complete. You go to your stake, you see, and you got more. Boom. That's simple, right? So this 25% extra for auto staking is going to last forever. Forever is a big word in crypto. So who knows, but it's here. And I think it's another great idea.
Cool.
Peter, what do you think the benefits of the 25% are?
I'll tell you, there was a very healthy discussion today about it, Richie. There's some people who are going to be looping using the 25% bonus because they want to get to that max wallet a whole lot faster. We've actually got kind of a low-key race that's going to be going on once the 25% bonus goes live to see who can get to 20 million the fastest.
Nice. Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to do my best to win it, sir. Then I'll plant a tree.
1 tree per million.
That's right.
Cool. Actually, we got a question that is actually something I was just about to mention from Fiat Hater.
To confirm?
Yeah. So I was just actually about to mention this. So once the web changes go live on the MSS site, I will have auto stake by default set to yes, right? So on the swap page right now, it's not set to auto stake by default when you go there. So you have to actually switch it to auto stake. But starting tomorrow, it will actually default to auto stake. So something to keep your eye out for or pay attention to in case you don't want to auto stake or
Good. That's how does the 15% break down from the auto stakes? I think you already mentioned that.
I don't think we went over that in this stream. It's basically the same. We went over the NFT referral amounts, so that's how much you earn when your referrals buy the NFT. But for the buy and auto stake, it's so instead of being a 30% total referral commission, it's a 15% referral commission on the buy and auto stake, and all the numbers work the exact same as the referrals. The NFT referrals, it's just they're all half, right? So so your direct referrals will earn you 5% instead of 10%. It's 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, 1% for the five tiers. That's direct BNB into your wallet. I think one of these pages should have that breakdown.
Yes. Well,
next one, I think. There it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Good. So this is how does the breakdown work? So again, you're not just getting referral rewards from people buying NFTs with your link. You're also getting the rewards from people auto staking as well.
Oh, don't forget about the buy tax going away.
Yeah. So before we get too confusing though, because we got ahead of ourselves there, we were going to talk a little bit about the earning potential that first the NFT onboarding can bring, right? This is wild. When I saw this, I started getting quite excited by this. So what's happening here is the NFT purchases from new and existing members, potential income at 200 a month plan if 5 people recruit 5 people 5 levels deep. 5, right? So this the bottom is very important, I think. If you fail by 90%, your monthly BNB income would be 1,810. If you fail in your attempt to try and onboard 5 levels deep, you would still make $1,810 a month. That is insane. Insane for an NFT that costs $200. This will take time to onboard. Here we have 3,125 people onboarded level 5, right? That will take considerable, I think, some time to get there. But this earning potential here is life-changing earning potential, in my opinion.
Yes, big time.
Definitely. So if you want to take it simply, from tomorrow, the NFTs are available. You buy an NFT, then you onboard one person to buy that NFT, right? So you would be level 1. That means then you get 10% of the $25 that they spent on the bronze NFT, which means you get $2.50. Would that be correct?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly right. And then you onboard a second person and they get the gold NFT. So then you get 10% of that. You get $20, right?
Yep.
So this is growing and growing. And then you think, oh, wow, I'm going to start onboard. I'm going to start spending more money. I'm going to get myself a silver NFT instead. And then you are continuing to onboard and grow. And this is only the NFTs. So the potential for these is huge. And if anyone's been watching my channel for a while, they know that I like NFTs, you know. And then we talk about auto stake, because before we were talking about auto stake, I showed you like how easily it is to purchase MSS and auto stake, right? It takes 10 seconds. What we have here is how much you can earn as an affiliate by encouraging others to auto stake into MSS. And of course, knowing that a lot of people who are watching this stream right now are already in MSS, right? They want more people in it because that means the protocol continue to grow. Now with these new changes, we can be even more sustainable going into the future. It's win-win, really it is. And the protocol MSS is giving you the opportunity to take home even more profit by making sure that MSS is more successful. That's the way I see it. It's a golden opportunity, this. So let's go through this page. How does this work? Who wants to tell it?
So basically, you start with level 1 and 5, and like I was explaining to the night, Richie, level 1, 5 people, 5%, and then $500. They put in as an auto stake. Total volume 2,500. You make $125 off those 5.
Yeah,
and then
it's paid in BNB, right?
Yep. Immediately when the transaction happens.
And then the next level, all those 5 people get 5. Their referrals put in $500. Then you get total volume, and then it explains the payout on that.
Yeah, and I like this is crazy. Like this could be crazy income. Like here it says, if you fail and you only get 90% of what you plan to get on this plan, right? On this projection, and this is one person's personal account, right? If it happens. They would get $2,400 a month in income. Or if they did succeed in what they wanted, they would be getting $24,000 every month. A car a month.
Something to keep in mind too is that a lot of people that you refer are going to end up buying a lot more than $500 worth of MSS.
Yes.
They might make numerous purchases throughout the month. They might keep purchasing for multiple months many times. So these numbers are just based off everyone doing a single $500 purchase.
Yeah, it's a easy rounded way to show the potential, right?
Yeah.
Richie, a conversation that we were having the other day, and here where I live, is we're actually going to have a presentation one night. I mean, if you have a core staking protocol account that's 3-4 million, I mean, there's a lot of us now that are starting to get up to that level. I mean, you can make one claim in a day and on board 10 new people. So, I mean, these are insane numbers, but it's doable if you use the tools in front of you to your advantage.
Yeah, 100%. And the most bullish thing I think about this is because we started MSS started last year, right? June, July, we were saying, right? But if we come and we see so at the bottom there, it says, we've got 3,125 people in level 5, right? Currently in the MSS staking ecosystem, we have coming up for 3,000 users, right? It's growing every day now. I've been watching the amount of users on BNB growing every single day now. In the morning, I check it, it's going up. This is the best bullish signal I can see for these changes being popular, right?
2232 right now.
Yeah, it's growing every day. And this means new people. And here, trying to refer 3,000 people into it, that means the having just 3,000 people in a protocol is a lot of people, of course, which means there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of trading, a lot of volume. But how many people do you know which have gotten into other protocols which have not been as solid, not been as long lasting, not been as transparent as MSS? Like, everything is there. You know, you have the dev, he's here every week talking to you, you know. You have these changes. Like, we had a bit of FUD earlier, a comment. Let me find it. I'm not going to bring it up because it's negative. I don't want to be negative. I want to be positive. But he said basically, oh, I'm out. You've made too many changes to this already. This isn't what I got in for, right? But you need to understand that these changes were not made lightly. These were months of consideration, weighing up options, trying to honor people who, at whatever point they join this protocol. This is why it's insanely bullish for me with the changes which are happening with MSS today.
See,
because you have that guy, you have the dev that you want, you have the protocol that you want. You know, it's all there. It's all there for the taking. We just need to drive forward now.
This just proves that you really can't please anyone, because I've really gone on the side of being like super careful about making any changes, putting tons of thought before I would even think about making any changes.
Yeah.
And this is a change that I feel is something that is, you know, beneficial for the vast majority of the community. And you still have someone that comes in and says, "Oh, you're making too many changes." Right?
Yeah, I know.
So you really can't please everyone.
No, you cannot please everyone. Which is, and you know, it's important that everyone gets to voice their opinion and their voice, of course. Like, we don't want to censor anyone. That's why I mentioned it as well, because I disagree with you, but I still mention what you said because I want you to have your voice here, right? Because this is a community and that we're continuing to grow. But yeah, I completely agree with you, Aaron. Sometimes you cannot you cannot make everyone happy. It's impossible.
Richie, we've actually gained 102 users in the past 14 days, just FYI.
Oh yeah, there we go.
But
see,
you know what? Even the FUD comments, though, like, I mean, sometimes there is something that you can learn from them, right? Like, so I mean, even in this comment here, you know, he did mention making things more complicated, right? So I mean, that's something that, like, we can, you know, if that's something that we get a lot, then we can definitely work on our messaging to try to make things simpler for people to understand. All right, so I think that there is, you know, even if you don't, even if I definitely don't agree with the FUD comment, but I think, potentially something to be learned there.
Oh, nice guy, Aaron. He's a nice guy. But yeah, and also, I think generally Mintstake Share in the UI and the way mintstakeshare.com works, it's very user friendly. So I'm imagining that these changes that you're going to be making will also be pretty user friendly as well.
Yeah,
it's not going to be too much information when you see it. You've got
it's going to be dirt simple, right? Like, I mean, the auto stake page is going to give you a 25% bonus. There's not much to understand there. And the staking page is going to show you exactly what your throttle is at, and it's a link to the docs where it's going to, you know, talk about it in detail. So
yeah, we have coming here from in one Telegram chat I saw from G Money, right? He was saying that if MSS hits 1 cent again, he will finish up his Moonyield UI.
You're on deck, sir.
Let's see if he will, because he's, if you don't know, G Money is also a part of the Mintstake Share community, and he has you know, skills with UI design, and he did begin making a secondary Moonyield UI, which did look quite nice actually. It was very clean. And he said if the price comes back, he will finish it. So he's almost on call.
Richie, and it's really a testimony to the project that this price recovery has happened with no features even being active. Imagine what it's going to do once all this kicks in.
Yeah. See, Bob agrees with you, Aaron. You're steering the ship in the right direction, Captain. Captain.
I am my best.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I finished the Zoom call.
Oh, there's Johnny himself.
Ah, it's Johnny. Hey, Johnny. We're just going through everything, Johnny. The cat's here. Cat likes Johnny.
We got the Zoom line. We got the Johnny indicator set up, man.
Blue hair.
Richie, that is just so you'll know, Johnny, the MLM legend, made a prediction, and it is, where is it? It's right here. He is predicting 2 cents by June the 12th. No. What did he say? He said, I think we were talking 50 cents by June the 12th.
Okay, so let's track.
I was watching the AMA. I think you asked him when we were going to hit 2 cents, and he said 2 weeks.
That's right. That's
Wow.
right. No,
So
no.
that
So that's April 10th, 2 cents. We said
yeah.
Did he
50
say something
cents
about
by June the 12th.
So this is the Johnny.
Yeah,
Johnny
April
indicator.
April 10th.
Hey, okay, it's you know, it's not completely like it's not totally out there, you know. It's
Yeah.
doable.
Well, we've only got a couple thousand users. I mean, imagine what the chart looks like with 100,000 users, and Johnny's going to bring that to us. So
yeah. And whoever else that wants to join, and if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, oh, this looks like an interesting place to you know park my car and get going, then come on board. You know, this is what we're talking about. When blue hair. So
50 cents.
apparently, what's the bet for blue hair again?
50 cents.
Okay, if we get 50 cents, we all have to dye our hair blue. All right,
Yeah.
50 cents. G Money's here. He says
babe,
the UI
if
will get
this hits
finished.
50 cents, I have to dye my hair blue.
That's
Awesome.
right. Yeah.
I just told my wife. She's like, huh?
Blue
She's got to
hair.
go blue too.
They said you have to dye your hair blue too. She said, hell no.
Yeah.
Trust me, she'll change her mind.
Okay, good. So we've covered the NFTs, we've covered the auto stake, and the kind of the potential profit that you can make from both these things with the referral system. We've covered the cap, so there'll be the 20 million cap on the your staking balance going into the future for MSS. The other thing that we need to cover would be the throttling.
Yep.
Which slide is that? Slide 1? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, slide 1.
This is also important. I think this is potentially, for the long run, this is one of the most important additions that's being made. And this is the final one, the final change that I think is being made to MSS. And this one's
So
big.
these aren't the final numbers here. They're not too different than this, but these aren't the
Okay.
exact ones. But yeah, it's very similar to that.
Okay. So let's guide us through it. Okay.
Yep.
My idea was we can use my initial account, which I started MSS with, and we can figure out how far I'm going to get throttled, right? And why I'm happy about it as well. So why am I happy that I'm going to be earning less MSS token on my Binance Smart Chain account? Why? Why do you think, guys? It's because it's great for the protocol. You know, I want more
Richie,
people.
if I can
join
share my
MSS.
screen, I can show you the correct numbers.
Okay. Will I bring off this old one and remove that? And then
Here it comes now.
it's coming. Oh, there we go. This one. Oh, this. Okay.
You got to unshare yours. There we go.
We're coming. Is that the old one or the new one?
That's the new one.
That looks right.
Okay. Okay.
No, not that one.
Yeah, I'm coming back. Oh my God.
There.
We got
That's
it.
the correct numbers.
Okay. Yeah. So why am I happy? I'm happy because I want this to continue for much longer, and I've already profited. So why not take a haircut? And if I don't want a haircut, all I need to do is put more MSS in.
Yeah. And,
Right? It's simplicity, right?
and because of what we have available in the ecosystem, you don't even necessarily need to use cash out of pocket in order to do that, right? Like you can take MSS and borrow MUSD against it. And, you know, this works incredibly well with a rising MSS price, you know, and you can use that MUSD to purchase more MSS to increase your like true real MSS deposits into staking, which is what is used to calculate the throttles.
Yeah.
Phenomenal tool, guys. Learn it. You can definitely generate a lot of collateral into a system. You can, we were having a discussion about this, Richie. You can literally repair your throttled account by learning how to loop through it and make it produce more.
Okay. Yeah. By using Moonyield, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I have here new sustainability measures, right? MSS wallets will cap at 20 million, which means your deposits can't go higher than 20 million now. And that's great also because, of course, people will just make secondary wallets, but people need a cap. We need to know our limits, essentially. MSS ROI returns up to 1 times your deposit, 0 reduction. So this reduction means you'll get less MSS every day, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you're over 1 times your deposit, you get a 10% reduction. So if we come on this one, I think I'm
And
here.
just to explain this fully, just because I know there's been some confusion about this in the past, these reductions apply to every aspect of staking, right? So like the function in the staking contract that calculates your available rewards is going to factor in that through his account here.
Okay.
He's collected. Is this your account or this?
Yeah. This is the one I want to show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's collected 1.5 million on 1.1 million of deposits. So that puts him at over the 1x ROI, but he's not quite at 2.5x, or he's quite far from 2.5x.
Yeah.
So he would have a 10% throttle. So if that was active right now, his available would be 1,200 less than it is, right? So it'd be like 11,800 or 10,800. Sorry.
So say that I want to go back to 0, and you're saying there I can use moon yield instead of using depositing in, or there's options, but I could use moon yield to try and increase my deposits to then reduce my haircut, right? To reduce my throttle, right? So how would that work? So say I've got some MSS here. So I go to moon yield, right? So Peter, what would I do? How would this work?
So what you would do, Richie, is you would add it to your Trove.
Okay.
And you would claim MUSD out.
It's got to be, so Trove, it must be over 100 USD borrowed, I believe.
Correct.
Yep. Okay, so we'll go there. So I put in 30,000 MSS. I borrow out 100 MUSD, right? So I've opened the Trove. My collateral ratio is 300, which is perfect, right? I think it's a nice, responsible collateral ratio, right?
Thank you for being responsible, sir.
Yeah, I've learned. So this is the most complex part of MSS, by the way. So if you're watching this and thinking, what the fuck is happening now? Be aware, this is the most complex thing you can do with MSS. So if you don't understand it, don't worry, okay? This is just showing you how, if you do get into your ROIing with the MSS you've earned, this is how you can reduce back your throttle, right? So I've borrowed the MUSD. Now what do I do?
Now open your Trove. That way you'll have MUSD at your disposal.
So he's got it.
Yeah, I got it. I got 100.
Right. Now you will swap your MUSD for BNB so you can buy more MSS.
Okay, so I come on the right here. We have MUSD buy. It'll bring me to Pancake Swap. All right. Okay, so I swap all of it.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Boom. Swap Rooney. Okay. And this, again, we're in the future here. So the updates have been made to mint stake share. So then I'm guessing I go back to mint stake share and I buy.
And then go to your swap tab.
Yeah. And
so that point, I think you got like 0.15.
Yeah, I got
so BNB. Yep.
Yeah. Go to swap tab. Go to swap.
And you can just throw that 0.15 in there with auto.
Okay.
With auto stake, and then you'll get in the future you'll get that 25% bonus, and that full amount that gets credited to your staking account will count towards your true MSS deposits, which would bring down your throttle level, or it would improve your ratio.
Yeah, so
this is crypto porn. So then I swap and stake, remembering that this is 2 days in the future, and the auto stake will be turned on when these changes are made
by default. Yep.
Yeah. So I deposit that in, and therefore when I come back to my stake, I'll have higher deposits. And slowly over time, this will manage to keep you within the range that you want to be in. It adds more fresh capital into mint stake share. You use moon yield, which is key also for the ecosystem. But that's the advanced strategy. Doesn't take so long to do it, right?
Yeah, you can definitely repair that ratio with that 25% bonus over time. Yes.
Yes. G Money says, this is how I got over 500,000 MSS in my Trove without claiming from my stake, literally siphoning money from MUSD into MSS. He's a clever man, that G Money. Good. Bob's at 100K. Good. That must be his Trove.
Yep.
Yeah. So
if you look at the moon yield stats that you just had open, you can see that the numbers have just been growing like crazy. Like our TVL, like the MSS deposited in moon yield, is the highest I've ever seen it by far.
And that's very bullish.
37.54 million MSS, worth almost 400K. That's like, I mean, the number keeps growing every time I look at it, but I think prior to this push up, I think the highest that's ever been was like a little over 30 million, I want to say. Actually, I'm not even sure if it went over 30 million in the past.
We just jumped to 37.71, just FYI.
Did we?
Yeah.
That was me probably, because I put in 30.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're at 37.75.
Oh, no,
It's still growing.
You put 30, not 300 though.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I put 30K. Yeah. Not
Told you, Aaron, we keep you straight, man.
Yeah, but I mean, 120 troves. Look at that MUSD supply. That MUSD supply is growing like crazy too. So anybody that's staking Moonshare is doing well with fees.
Yeah.
So that's the big changes. Definitely, there's so much to talk about. It's too much.
And you could go on forever with strategies and moon yield, man. I mean, it's just, and also I know Aaron's got some other things up his sleeve to make it even more advanced after that. I mean, not advanced, but just more ways to make money.
Yeah. We have ARMK88. Not sure how to pronounce that. ARMK8. Will the UI display the throttle percentage?
Yep, it will.
Yeah.
It'll be a very simple display that just shows like what percentage you're getting throttled by, with a link to the docs to read more about it there.
I'll dye my whole body blue at 50 cents. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, we'll have to get a swimming pool full of blue paint and just hop on in.
We could have like a blue foam party. How about that? My wife was like, "What in the hell are you talking about?"
She thinks, she doesn't think you're investing anymore.
Yeah, right. She's like, "You sure you're talking about crypto over there?" Yeah, babe. Crypto. My favorite thing in the whole world.
My wife just ignores me whenever I start talking about things like this. She thinks Bitcoin's a scam. Still, she has one Bitcoin, right? She thinks it's a scam. Like,
interesting.
It's like, can you give me it back then? She's like, no. Say, well, if you think it's a scam, just give me it back. Send it back to me. No, don't keep it. Don't worry. It's like, all right, good.
So Richie, you were in drip. I was not. How does this thing have a chance to go, man?
So if I was to compare drip to MSS, the differences are that the changes which drip needed took quite a long time to be implemented, and when they were implemented, they weren't right for drip necessarily. The drip garden was quite good for it, but then the animal farm had a bit of an exploit, and then the utility of drip was taken away from the yield farm, which was made for drip. Therefore, basically, that was the final nail in the coffin for it. And then inflation became an issue, right? Changes weren't made fast enough. And although it was mammoth, it was over 100,000 staking accounts in drip, it became too big, too fast, and the changes were too slow, essentially. With mint stake share, what we have is completely different because it's a growing, gradually and strongly growing amount of users in mint stake share. But like I said before, we're only 3,000, right, in mint stake share at the moment. We already have utility which is working and fully functional, which we can use, like we just showed there, the advanced strategies. Advanced strategies are available for profiting from mint stake share without even selling mint stake share token. And this is the biggest, hugest thing, I think. And now with these new changes, sustainability measures being added, and a new very powerful referral system being added, this should, in my opinion, be the next kind of renaissance of the positive sentiment and positive growth of mint stake share.
Yeah, I added during the stream another $700 in collateral to my trove, which we were demonstrating earlier, just from price appreciation and a higher collateral ratio. I mean, that's the power of it. Yeah. And I mean, right now we're not at a penny, but if this thing goes to 2.5 cents, if you have collateral on your trove, not to get too deep into it, but right now I've got 188,000, which is $1,900 roughly. It's not going to be 1,900. It's going to be a whole lot higher. I'll have that much more money in my fingertips.
Yeah.
And you guys have both touched on, once you get a staking account going and you can kind of get addicted to those returns, and, the 2% compounding does build up insanely fast. But I think what helped us really grow get that like parabolic growth that we had up front was like when we first launched, was having the price also move in addition to like everybody staking and earning MSS through staking. So I think, with the kind of price reset that we've had and the momentum that the price has now, I think having both of those things working together, being able to grow your MSS count exponentially with compounding and having an increasing price, I think that's like really what you need to have for, crazy parabolic growth. And, I think we have that now.
Yeah. See
these
green.
That's probably also a big reason why the staking accounts keep growing, but we still got a long way to go to 100K plus.
Yes.
Aaron, you love those green candles, man.
I love them.
Big green days. I do like them too. Yeah. And this is it. I had something here saying what would be the price of MintStake share if we had the amount of users as drip? I mean, I don't even know how to calculate that, to be honest. And
you'd almost have to look at like the inflows that it got and then run those inflows against our LP. Right. I'm sure it'd be a crazy number, right?
Yeah. But I think also one thing I learned with my experience with drip was that it died many times on the way up to the all-time high. It went, it launched and then it bottomed out completely and everyone thought it was dead. And then it went up again and then it bottomed out and everyone thought it was dead. Then it went up again. Like it's not a continuous upward trajectory for an ROI DApp. Each dip is a challenge, and it's a challenge for the developers to try and think, okay, how can we continue this? How can we make it larger? How can we get more capital and how can we get more excitement going? How can we have more utility to it? And then for the investor, it's a challenge of, will I hold on or will I just start cashing out? And we don't know. That's the risk of high risk DeFi, right? That's why it's so much fun.
Yeah. And, one thing that I really like about our changes is, a lot of people that I personally onboarded, whether it be friends or family, they've all asked me like, what strategy should I use? When should I claim? And, a vast majority of them, a lot of them started with smaller accounts. And I said, yeah, just, keep compounding. We got a bull market coming up and, it's something where you can grow your position huge with just, with a lot of compounding. And, I think that these sustainability measures that we're introducing are really going to benefit a lot of those people that kept the faith and they didn't panic. They didn't start like, constantly claiming because the price was dropping a little bit. And, they're really going to benefit now because they have, a lot of them still have a zero claim on their wallet. Right. So they're going to really be able to reap those benefits, once the price starts moving up even higher.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I would say to be responsible, I think 5 compound 2 claim. That's what I did for the first 6 months with MSS, and it worked perfectly. It's more than enough. You ROI quite quickly even with that, and from there you can really get a handle on the ecosystem. And yeah.
Well, I guess the main point that I was trying to say though is that like the guys that have been like aggressively claiming are going to be in like a drastically worse, situation than the people that haven't been aggressively claiming, and that's kind of exactly what we want.
Yeah, that is exactly what we want. We want the JEETs out.
Yep.
And if the JEET wants to not JEET, they can learn how to circulate their money through Moon Yield and repair their account.
Exactly right, and which is healthy for the protocol. Yeah.
And I think one of the most difficult things with the sustainability changes was, obviously doing a reduction once somebody has reached an ROI with token count doesn't necessarily mean they ROI'd dollar wise.
Yes.
But we've, this is a great time to DCA, especially starting tomorrow with the 25% staking bonus. Anyone that got in at a higher price, now you can increase your actual true MSS deposits and build up your staking account at a much lower price than what you might have paid earlier. And it's really just a win-win across the board to do that before the price starts jumping a lot higher.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There are people who will have purchased MSS at a much higher price, and there's, like you said, you can't please everyone. But I think you found the best all-round solution. Yourselves working together, and I couldn't be happier with these changes. I could not be happier. I'm very happy. And even me, like a couple, like 3-4 weeks ago, I wasn't feeling negative about MSS, but I was feeling, I was like, I just wish, something would be added, something would be changed. But, and then it happened. So, but these things take time. And I respect that you took your time and you made the, the careful decision about I trust your judgment, Aaron. That's what I'm trying to say. I trust your judgment. So that's the main thing, and it's good.
Yeah. And going back to the sustainability updates, I think your account is actually a pretty good example, right? Because you haven't been aggressively claiming, you haven't suicide compounded on that main account. You've done like a nice even strategy, and your account falls right where we would want an account like that to fall, right? Like you're not at, you're only getting throttled 10%. It's not going to make a black and white difference on your account. It's going to be a small throttle, and that's right where an account like yours should fall. Right, like I'm sure there's some accounts that are going to get throttled a lot more than yours as soon as these changes go live. But those guys have been the ones that have been aggressively claiming and hurting the MSS price. So,
I don't know what this means.
I think we nailed it.
I almost put Richie's face on a milk carton.
Oh, is it?
You don't know what that means, Richie?
No, does that mean I'm missing?
Yeah, that means you were missing.
Oh, when was I missing?
We're
No, Bob, you do the AI videos. Put his face on there and make it sing.
Yeah. I thought it might be like a mildly veiled threat, like I'm going to put your face on a milk carton, as in you're going to go missing. I think I is. Oh, was that when MSS was going down? Oh, okay, I get you.
Oh,
don't
Bob,
worry.
Do it now, man.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, we got a question there about depositing liquid MSS.
Okay, good. If I deposit my liquid MSS after the changes tomorrow, I still get 25% bonus.
So that's the 25% bonus is strictly on the buy and auto stake from BNB.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely be able to deposit your MSS, but to get the 25% bonus, that's strictly on the buy with BNB and auto stake, or it also works on base with ETH.
Yeah. So Biso, what you could do is you could deposit your liquid MSS into Moon Yield, then you could borrow MUSD, then sell the MUSD into BNB, and then deposit the BNB into MSS and get 25% extra.
That is exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
Well, and that exact strategy is one that I've mentioned in Telegram to a couple people. That's been a great strategy for the last couple of weeks, right? Is ever since the price started moving, right? Like, I was just saying that an increase in MSS price is really beneficial for the core staking, contract or aspect of the protocol, which is definitely true. But an increase in MSS price is even that much more bullish on the Moon Yield side, because now your collateral is increasing in value, letting you borrow more, right? So, I'd mentioned to a couple of people that's the strategy that I liked going into these changes, was buying MSS and putting that into Moon Yield and borrowing against it. And then you're building up all this MUSD that you can then, maybe be selling along the way, and then, do a buy and auto stake once the 25% goes live. Because a lot of guys were asking, oh, should I buy now or should I wait till after the change? And, I think the right answer there was to buy the MSS, but, use it in Moon Yield until the change goes live, because that way you can still use BNB for the 25% bonus and benefit off the price increase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need a MSS school. What might be a good idea? Like a class, MSS classes where we go through these more, because definitely I think for about 25% of people in MSS, they're more than capable of understanding all the difficult aspects, but more than just the staking protocol, all the other parts. Whereas I would assume about 70 to 75% are still not up to speed on it. It's one of these once you get it, you get it kind of things. But yeah, MSS school, that's what we should do.
The cool. MUSD buys are coming back in again. That's good.
Okay, we should wrap up because it's an hour and 18. I'm sure we've got lots of stuff to do, Aaron. Like sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. And thanks very much for coming on the channel, and also for streaming everywhere, because now we're getting, all I wanted to do today was to get the word out more about the changes that are coming, so that everyone's ready for it, and we can all take the most advantage of this huge opportunity which we have right now. The time is now. The moment is here. So it's exciting. I'm excited. Peter, are you excited?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
now
yeah.
your wife's like,
What
are you talking? Who are you talking to?
It looks like the market might be ready to pick up too. So we might have timed this all perfectly with a market run up. So that'd be really ideal.
Yeah, perfect.
And I'm telling you, man, the community loves a bonus, and this bonus is here and it ain't going nowhere.
Nice. Okay. Thanks, guys, very much, and I will see you very soon. You have another AMA later, right?
Yep.
Tomorrow,
Yes,
or-
in 12 hours,
Roughly
Okay.
12 hours.
13 hours.
Okay, so if
Aaron,
you
just go to sleep.
yeah, if you come into the end of this one, then you can just wait, and there'll be another one where these changes are going to be, actually implemented, right?
Yeah,
that's
that will be
stream.
the go live.
Nice. Okay, I'll be there. See you
Yep.
there.
Well, thanks for having us, Richie.
No problem. No problem.
It
Okay.
was fun.
Bye bye.
All right, see you guys.
Don't get wrecked.